While making Mighty Car Mods over the last 15 years, we've ended up working on hundreds of cars, but a few of them have stood out as absolute MCM classics. And one of them is Supergramps and its various iterations, because it is like the wasp that crawls into the fig, that gets its antennas and its wings knocked off, and then it rots inside and grows into something even better that then we eat.
Yeah, it's also a really, really good road car, good street car. It's been a great track car. It's kind of done a little bit of everything. It's towed the Mini around on a trailer. Like, it's done so much. And one of the things I just love doing with this car is getting in it and driving. And as such, I'm going to take it on a little driving adventure.
And you know why this is so important is because a lot of the time we talk about automotive community and getting on Facebook and going and doing meets. I reckon that's half of it. I think the other half of it is just you and your car on a windy road, windows down, listen to the sound of the induction, assuming you're turbocharged, of course, none of the VTEC rubbish. Listen to the sound of the exhaust, and actually just, I mean, as cheesy as it sounds, just like you having an experience at one with your car and the journey. So that is what Marty's doing today, with a couple of mad little adventurous things happening along the way.
And a couple of jerry cans of E85, otherwise I probably won't make it.
This is how many extra jerry cans you need to make it to Queensland. 60 litres, so there's 65 litres in the fuel tank and another 60 in the boot. I hope I make it.
As I was driving, I had some time to think about why this car has been so special to me, and beyond that, why it seemed to be so important to some of you. When we first screwed this thing together, it was by far the most ambitious project I'd ever done. My mechanical and fabrication skills were pretty basic, but with the help of Al, Miles and some other clever mates, it just worked, and it worked so well. We covered every twist and turn of the build in a series of videos. To this day, people come up to me in the street and say it was the series that got them interested in Mighty Car Mods in the first place. Not only was it the most powerful car I've ever owned, the tech to make the modern 3.6 litre work was cutting edge, and the car proved itself over and over at drags, meets, on the street, and even stepped up as a circuit car when I broke other cars you'd sooner take to the track over a family-sized station wagon. 8 years later, a lot of project cars have come and gone. Supergramps has been a daily, a weekend car, a tow car, a track car, and everything in between. A good story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. But just because one story might be coming to an end, doesn't mean someone else can't start their own. This thing is way too good to pull apart or leave sitting in a garage somewhere to rot. So after some big and deep talks with some of my best mates, we have come up with a plan.
Had a really good run so far this morning. 385 Ks I have covered so far. I started with a full tank of E85 and the light has just come on now. So I've got 60 litres in the boot, which is approximately a full tank. And as far as I know, as long as it's still operational, the next service station I can get E85 from is 170 Ks away. So doing some rough maths, I got to put like 1.5 jerrys in to get there, then refill the car, refill the jerrys. I've still got a good 500 or 600 kilometers to cover today, so time to refuel.
I'm retracing the steps I took back in 2015 when I first drove this back from Al's place. It's a solid 12 or 13 hours of driving, covering over 1,000 kilometers of highways, and having a car that runs on E85 makes it a bit more challenging.
All right. First fuel stop, about halfway in Coffs Harbour, and yes, they have ethanol 85. We're all good people, we're gonna make it. Time to fill up the car and a couple of jerry cans. Oh, 166 bucks. Holy shit, that's like double what I paid last time.
I made it over the border as the sun was setting, found somewhere to crash, ready for an early start.
All right, it's 5 in the morning. Day 2, nearly there.
Chances are you've probably worked out that Supergramps is going home.
Is it time? Is he ready?
Not yet. Soon.
All right, let's do it.
start it up. First time, NA. Oh, loud and angry. Oh, it sounds different. It sounds like still got the same sound, but it doesn't sound like unequal headers anymore.
Free rev it to 11.
Free rev it to 11. Whoa. Oh, it sounds so angry.
Sounds better than Gus. Those crazy long headers.
Mad. Yeah, that's the big long headers and no more turbo, no more unequal. It's amazing how much it changes the characteristic of it, isn't it? Idles perfectly. That's a big plus for like an aftermarket ECU and being able to go, we just made the car NA, now we can drive it.
It's got 80% ethanol, bros.
Good. Sounds good, man. Should we tell people the plan?
Probably.
Supergramps is now naturally aspirated. And I know a lot of people out there are going like, what is happening? But there's also something else that happened a few years back when we first did this. I never actually said whose car it was. I said I got it from a mate. And the mate I got it from was Al. So it was actually Al's family car. And he sold it to me really cheap for like $5,000 at the time. They were going for much more than that. And so I've actually just sold it back to him for the exact same amount he sold it to me, so that the car goes full circle from me back to you.
Yeah, that's right. It's not. I'm not buying it to make it my family car again. We've moved on from that.
Yeah.
In fact, we moved on to several other cars, including another Subaru very similar to this. That one we ended up building on the skid factory and making it into my son's first car. So it was like a P-plater special build. We did like a 3-part series on that. And it was basically my idea of what's the best car that I can put together for my P-plater son, knowing how stupid kids are when they're young, because I was one of them, knowing how important a car is to a young person when they first get their license. It means freedom and all that sort of stuff. And you measure yourself with your mates off the car you've got and stuff. So we put that car together and that was great. And he's now got his P's and he cruises around and he loves it. The problem is I've got 2 sons. Who would go back? But we did anyway. So my second son is, he's nearly 15. So next year he's going to have his learners and then we've got to do it all again. So when this sort of came into my vision, I was like, wow, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
And it turns out Marty was keen.
So both these boys, when we were first filming the original Gramps, even back as far as the MX-5, like 10 years ago basically, I think it was 2 little kids.
2 little
You know what
kids.
I mean? Like a 5-year-old and whatever. And they were cruising around. I remember in the back of this car, like when we were cleaning it out, there was like toys and like just
Food.
food, proper kid chariot. So I don't know, I think it's pretty cool that this car is going back to the kid that used to sit basically in a baby seat in the back, like chick in the chair, is now going to learn in it. And he's got the same car as his brother. Both of them have flat 6s in it. Yes, it's NA. Yes, it's got all like, the all drive and all that stuff remains. It is a pretty cool car. Like we both get that for a learner, but also I think it's really special that's going back to where it came from. So he doesn't really know about it yet. Like I think he's got an inkling when he saw this car rock up before he went to school.
Yeah.
But I don't think he quite gets exactly what's going down, so I might have to tell him.
Might be a kid on Christmas thing going on shortly.
Best dad ever. Thanks, Van. Thanks for your help. I'm glad it's gone back to your family. It's very, very cool.
It's pretty exciting. I'm super keen.
We got one of them. Did you see that? Did you hear that there was a Liberty wagon in here?
I did. Had to add to the collection.
Sick. It's NA, people. It's NA. High five me.
What's that mean?
Sick. So good. Should we take it for a drive? All right. Oh, it sounds like an angry swarm of bees.
That's what you want.
Do you love it?
Yes.
You got a bit of time to wait before you get your license. I know your learners is next year, but we
Yeah.
want it to be very organised. Because in car land, a lot of the time it's like, we're going to do it, and then 5 years later, it's still not built.
Yeah.
Everyone with a project car knows what I'm talking about. This is awesome. So there's a few little things to fix that your dad's going to have to sort out.
Yeah.
But it works, man. And you'll be learning to drive in this. With the Angry Bee-mobile. Awesome. I'm glad it's going to you, because I remember when you were a little kid and I bought this and you're in the back like chucking your stuff around and going, we got to go to karate.
I'm gonna be driving it soon.
Yep.
In like a year.
Exactly. Awesome, dude. Congratulations. Enjoy it.
Oh my god, I
Your
will.
dad's talents is the reason this car exists and will continue to exist.
Done.
No fast wagon anymore. Better go finish that levorg, eh?
Do you want to come?
Oh yeah.
We've got something to show you. Should we take that?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Don't leave me hanging, let's go. Get some
snacks.
Some JDM snacks, the best kind. For our... Oh, it's tight.
It just so happens a certain blue sports car arrived on the shores of Australia just in time to get me and Al back to Sydney. To finish a certain built flat 6 turbocharged ethanol powered all-wheel drive Subaru wagon. Oh, it is not over. We are only just getting started.